Hey, I hope you're doing well. Since I last made a video, I've been absolutely obsessed with the new Lego Batman game, and I know that it was always meant to be a celebration of the movies, but when I went to buy something physically, I realized that even though this is 20 years since Lego Batman, there isn't much of a celebration of that, especially not from the physical toys. And I wanted to change that. So I never had the original sets. I know my life was so hard. Like, I loved the Two-Face Escape. That was a big one for me that I always wanted because I had the PSP game, and in the back of that they had the catalogue for all the sets. So I'd look through that and always want these things that I just couldn't have at the time, especially a lot now because sets like this are crazy money on the aftermarket. But luckily in 2012 they did revamp the line, so you got DC superheroes, and this was my first Batmobile, my first Batman set, and I loved it. And I wanted to kind of celebrate that, so take aspects from this Batmobile design, take modern parts libraries and just kind of mash it together and see what I could get. So I wanted to keep these sweeping ears, the swooped canopy, take all of these aspects and kind of meld it into one. So before getting my hands on some physical parts, I opened up Bricklink Studio. It's a software I used once before. Years ago, I used a place called Mecha Bricks, and I just don't like that one very much. It inputs better into Blender. This one I tried to put into Blender, did not have a great time. But yeah, I think just the way that it puts together and the basket feature that you can build whatever you want on here, take it over straight to Bricklink, and all of the parts is brilliant. But anyway, this was the first design. So main reasons for a redesign is when building digitally, you don't really get how bits are put together, and you know, there's the strength issues that you have until later in the build, or how a minifigure integrates. So I had to raise this cockpit area up quite a bit because Batman's ears are quite long and he'd have to lay down a lot in this. He still has to lay down the second version, but nowhere near as much. Anyway, I like the shaping here. I started with the engine. I thought that was the key thing. I was thinking of Arkham City's Batmobile, the one that just... No, the Arkham Asylum. It's in both, isn't it? I wanted to have that exposed engine, and I wanted to have this kind of emulate, in a way, the look of the original set. So I wanted to take a look from the missile bit. I wanted to have this missile bit reimagined as an engine with the torpedo on the front. So that's kind of what I've gone for here, and hopefully that works. Hopefully you can see that. And then I've got a turret here, a little gun section, because we all remember those vehicle levels. You need to be able to have something like that. I liked the way I did these wings. They are swept back, angled, but within the 6-stud wide silhouette, and that's a big thing for me. I don't like when they are all over the place or straight upright. I think that is a good compromise, and I think they're well integrated. Like in here, I've used light grey pieces on my physical copy that I've got there. I used black, so you can kind of see some bits in there, but in reality you're not going to, in the same way that they've got like those gaps there. You aren't going to see those in person. But yeah, this was version 1, and as I said, I had to move this up, and also I didn't like how the engine sat so low. Realistically, the engine would be where this plate is, which means it would just be falling through the floor. So the second version is slightly different. I used a piece that I found in my physical parts collection, which is from a 2016, I believe, Bugatti Chiron Speed Champion sets back when they were 6 wide. I think this looks quite nice. I changed some of the shaping here. So when you look on the bottom of this one, you'll see that there's this square plate here that kind of messes up the top silhouette and a lot of the bottom shaping. So on this one, I wanted to get rid of that, and it sweeps down a lot more to look like it's bringing the air under the car, which I quite like. It's got those side vents from the original, and I've done a little bit of like a Burton-esque kind of approach to them being out to the side, but I quite like that. It's got the golden wheels of the original, the swept back canopy, and then the big grey engine. It was a big key detail for me. I have instructions available that I'm putting up onto my Rebrickable page because I spent a lot of time making this, and it'd be fun for people to be able to have this as well. It's just getting approved right now, which hopefully it does, but I've got all my renders on there, and it's going to be £1.50 for both instructions, so you can decide which version you want to make, whether you care if he lays back more or not, if you want to have that more sleek look. But here I've got the physical version, and this is just from my own parts I have back home. I went back home for a weekend and I picked up all my Lego Batman minifigures, and yeah, thought I'd just make this. So there's some parts that are replacement parts. So like this here, this is a 3x3 corner plate in the actual instructions, but this has the same silhouette in terms of just realizing the build. And I mean, if you're ever thinking about how you should organize your parts, I do have to say that doing it with part type instead of color works wonders, because it's just like I have a drawer for these parts that I can just take at any time. I want glass pieces, cool. Canopies are all in one place. And yeah, well, I mean, that's how I was able to find this canopy here. Scratched like crazy because it's almost 10 years old. But yeah, I need to get the ladder piece, the archway pieces there, replace these ones. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it apart completely, because there's some bits that I kept from the original, like these square bits here, just because I had updated this on the instructions afterwards. So I'm going to take it apart, gather the parts list, use the parts list that I got on my Rebreakable page, and then remake it from there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this. This is the first kind of real independent build that I've got on my Rebreakable. I've got a gunship on there, but that was a preemptive recolor of the set that they were bringing out. I just kind of built it from visual and then recolored it. But yeah, if you take a look at that, I'd be grateful. Even if you don't get the instructions, just give it a like. Or if you make something similar, I'll leave my community tab open so you can upload those. But I'm gonna build it myself and upload it on there once I get all the parts in. Yeah, it was nice to do this, because before this video, I made a Transformers video. It was 50 minutes long, and it got taken down for copyright. It didn't get taken, I took it down for copyright because it was being shown to basically no one. I think it got 100 views maximum over like 3 days, but it plateaued like that because, and it had a little orange triangle because of copyright reasons, which is completely my fault. It's their right to do that. I used a lot of footage, but then again, it is a 50-minute video, so I need to kind of learn how people that do commentary are able to use so much footage and get away with it. But that's a thing for another day, or maybe not, because I said in my last New Comic Book Day video that I didn't enjoy making videos just basically being a consumer, because I bought an action figure in that. I used to make loads of videos about that, and I kind of ignored how that was completely the same thing with doing it for comics, because I'm just buying comics and just talking about them. So the Flash video, I suppose, is the only real difference to that, where it's more of a personal thing with some baking that I quite enjoy. I guess the Ben 10 one, maybe not, but still, that's just related to a property. So it'd be nice to do something that is my own, but unlike this, is completely separate from IP in a way, which is a bit difficult given, you know, my reading material and my hobby, basically. But I'll figure something out, because I want to do some cool shots. Because this, I mean, wow, he can use OBS. Wow. It doesn't really impress me very much. It's just an easy way for me to make this video. But, and it's a nice skill to have. Like, it's nice to try new software, but I want to do some creative shots, do some stuff with the camera that I bought that I can, you know, put in places. I need to get some lights probably, but try some things. I mean, I've been watching lots and lots and lots of just skit shows, I guess. Not that I want to do skits necessarily, but just the effort that people put into those productions is really interesting to me. And I want to practice my writing. I think that'd be quite fun. So who knows what the next video will be, when it will be. I'm sure you're all on the edge of your seats, but this is more for me in a way. So yeah, hopefully I can find something I enjoy making. I had to call it the Bat on Rebreakable. That's the name of it. I should have said that earlier, because they don't allow Batmobile. The Bat. Alfred, get me the bat. I am vengeance. I am the night. I'm Batman. See you later.